Hello book lovers, it's me, Becca. Welcome back to another video, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today we are going to be doing a review that I have put off for a very long time because I do not want to say goodbye to the characters. The review will be on Always and Forever, Lara Jean by Lara Jean. If you don't know already, which I don't know where you've been if you don't know about these books, this is a wonderful trilogy about a girl named Lara Jean. I have book reviews for both of the first two books already up on my channel, so link in the description. This trilogy is one of the best contemporary trilogies I've ever read in my life, and I'm so sad to be reading or to have already read the third book, and what am I gonna do without Lara Jean and Peter Kavinsky? I don't know. But if you haven't already, go check out those videos and go buy those books and go read those books and just love them forever. Because right now, I'm jealous that you have not read those other two books. Basically, what this whole entire book was about was just Lara Jean and her last half of senior year of high school and just her navigating high school and all these different obstacles that are coming her way. And it just made me, throughout the whole entire book, just so sad and nostalgic because I myself am graduating high school this year, and so I know what it's like to have to say goodbye to people that you have been with for forever. And then you also have Peter Kavinsky and then some other troubles going around in this book. If you have not picked this book up, you will not be disappointed. Okay, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much. I'm so sad to say goodbye to these characters, but it was a lovely goodbye, but I really don't want it to be goodbye. So first off, yeah, like I'm just gonna put it out there. I did not want to read this book, and for obvious reasons, just because I did not want to say goodbye to Lara Jean and Peter Kavinsky. This trilogy has been like one of my #1 trilogies that I have read in such a long time, and having to say goodbye to these characters is just like really hard. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have to say goodbye to the Throne of Glass series. Like, I don't know. I don't want to think about it, okay? Because it's coming up, and I don't. Oh. Put that thought outside of your head, Becca. Throughout this whole entire book, the emotion that was just going through my heart was just sadness, because she's literally going through high school, about to graduate, and Peter's there and things are going on, and I'm just like, no, I don't want this to be the end. I don't want things to crumble and fall and die. But let me just break it down and be a very honest reviewer. This book was just a little bit slow, and that's why I bumped that 1 star down. It would have been a 5 stars, but I did think it was a little slow. There wasn't much going on in this book. It was mostly just Lara Jean and kind of figuring out where she's going to go to college, her relationship with Peter when they go off to college. There wasn't really a big plot line in this book, so that's why I bumped it down 1 star, but that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy all of this book. I think it was a really good conclusion. I think there should have been a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more. I feel like we should have gotten a little bit more of Peter and her relationship, because I feel like in the second book, we kind of got a little of them just starting off the relationship, and this should have been the one where we got more cutesy moments, but it was kind of like the whole entire book we were saying goodbye to this couple, which is not what I wanted to read. I did not want to read her breaking up with Peter, and then, you know, I just didn't want to read that, because who would want to break up with Peter? Like, can we just talk about that? Like, Peter was perfect throughout this whole entire book. Peter would literally give up his scholarship to go to the college where Lara Jean is going. He's perfect. I've always said it, and some people are still John Ambrose McLaren shippers, but I was never one of those. You know, John's great, but Peter's there. So the beginning of this book, Peter and Lara Jean are both hoping to get into UVA. Peter's already going. He's already got accepted because he's on a scholarship with his lacrosse. It's just Lara Jean, and everybody's just telling her, you're gonna get in, Lara Jean. There's no way they wouldn't let you in. You got a really good, strong application. I'm just sitting there reading this book thinking, this girl is not gonna get in UVA, and she's not gonna end up with Peter because separation, long distance relationships, most of the time don't work. Lara Jean, what are you doing? Just like the beginning premise, it just sets you up for this big thing that Lara Jean is not going to get into the college that she wants to get into. Lara Jean is a planner. So throughout this whole entire book, she was planning things, planning the wedding between Trina and her dad. So when one thing doesn't go correctly, because obviously she didn't get into UVA, everything just starts to crumble for her. It would have been perfect if she had gotten to UVA, because Peter goes to UVA and they had all these plans, and it was just really sad to like see all these plans that they're planning and then knowing in the back of my mind like she's definitely not going to get into this college. Can we also just talk about how Peter and her relationship was really cute? We did get just a little bit of insight into the way their relationship has progressed. They dress up together on senior week. He loves her cooking so much, doesn't want to share her cooking and her cookies with everybody else because he just loves her cooking so much. He even said that he would braid her hair in college. Like, is that just not the cutest, most sweetest thing you've ever read about in a book? And I know I've bashed on Margot a lot in my recent videos just because she can be so annoying. She's just like the annoying sister, and Kitty was a little bit annoying too, but I mean, Margot. She brings home this boyfriend, Robbie, who like seemed really nice. She asks her dad, hey dad, can me and Robbie like sleep in the same room? And her dad's obviously not comfortable with it, and it's just like not really taking in account her dad's opinion. And then there's the whole deal because Trina and her dad are getting married. Margot doesn't really like that her dad and Trina are getting married, and I understand she doesn't want anybody to like replace her mom or anything, and she doesn't really know Trina, but she didn't really make a lot of effort to. Speaking of Margot, we didn't see Josh this whole entire book. I don't remember if we saw him in the second book, but this one was pretty evident. Like, I think we mentioned Josh like maybe once because I think Lara Jean's dad and Josh are like pen pals or something. And then Stormy dies. John Ambrose McLaren is Stormy's grandson. He texted Lara Jean that she died, which I think was really impersonal. I feel like he should have called her. And this was just really sad because we got to know Stormy in all the previous books. We didn't see her a lot in this book. I think we maybe saw her maybe once or twice. It was just really sad for watching Lara Jean just have to say goodbye to this like figure in her life. But I think Stormy has like left a lot on her character because throughout the whole entire book she was referencing stuff that Stormy said to her. She even wore Stormy's ring on her prom day. Prom day was a really sweet part. It really showed how much Peter really loved Lara Jean. Prom was Lara Jean's birthday. So after they go to the prom, he surprises her with all their new friends that she's made through Peter. They kind of have like a little birthday surprise, and I thought it was just really sweet, and you could literally just tell reading that part how much Peter loves Lara Jean, how loyal and faithful he is to her. It just made like thinking that they're going to break up just even more painful. Lara Jean gets into UNC, and this school is more up her alley. She really likes it. It's kind of just like the UVA campus, but it's farther away. And then if she really loves the campus, she doesn't really want to transfer over to UVA, which is where Peter is. And it's like, I understand, I really want her to follow her dreams and go to the college she really wants to, but I really don't want her and Peter to break up. And then freaking Peter's mom had to step in and give Lara Jean this whole entire talk about how much she thinks that Lara Jean should break up with Peter because Peter's thinking about giving up his scholarship to go and follow her to UNC. This part really made me mad. She even told Lara Jean to not tell Peter that she had talked to her. They break up. They break up. This was like the saddest part ever. Peter obviously did not want to break up with Lara Jean. Reading them breaking up was just not fun at all. Lara Jean was drunk, which was a little bit funny. She's one of those drunks that like says all these things when she's drunk, and it's she broke up with Peter while she was drunk, and then he kind of walks off, which wasn't safe. I mean, just gonna leave Lara Jean drunk after she broke up with you. Lara Jean didn't even want to break up with Peter. It was Peter's mom that had gotten into her head. And then Lara Jean's dad and Trina get married. Lara Jean and Peter are still broken up. She sees Peter and they kind of make up, kind of get back together. This is the part that I was a little bit not okay with because I feel like it was very rushed. Am I the only one who thought this while they were reading it? I feel like Jenny Han should have added just a little bit more depth to this and maybe even like said more about what they did together that summer. I don't know, I feel like this part, them like getting back together, should have been more fleshed out. Maybe them talking about their future a little bit more, because it seemed so rushed, and I think it was like only like 1 page, 1.5 pages of them just getting back together. But they do talk about how much they love each other, and if they don't want to break up, then they're not going to break up and they can make it work. By the end of the book, we can kind of guess, which I hate not knowing, but we can kind of guess that her and Peter stay together. At least that's how I like to picture it. I put in my notes, like, I really wish that there was like an epilogue, maybe. Not like a big one where like 20 years later, but maybe like an epilogue where Peter and her graduate college, because I just want to know, like, do they end up together? Because I feel like it's a little bit of how you look at this book and how you read the book. Like, do you think they're gonna break up, or do you think they're gonna stay together and get married? My opinion, I really do think that they're really, really in love, especially Peter is really, really in love with Lara Jean, so I feel like they'll stay together. That was just my opinion on it. But I'm sure there's some other people out there that read the book that think the absolute opposite of this. I feel like an epilogue would have been just a little bit nice, because I really want to know like where they ended up. I'm hoping that maybe just a few years down the line that Jenny Han kind of gives us like maybe a bonus chapter or a bonus epilogue. This book was really hard to read because I knew it was the end of Lara Jean and Peter Kavinsky and just the wonderful Covey family. These characters have just grown so close to my heart, and I will definitely be rereading them in the future because these books were just really phenomenal and I just love them so much. I'm so sad to say goodbye. Definitely leave down in the comments all your thoughts about this book. I want to know if you think Peter and Lara Jean will stay together, because I feel like they will, but I feel like there's probably people that don't think they will end up together, but in my head and in my heart, they do. Also, do you guys think that making up scene where Peter and Lara Jean got back together, don't you guys feel like that was just a little bit rushed? Leave down in the comments all your thoughts and your opinions. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow all my social medias to keep up to date with me. I will see you in my next video. Bye!